It's 50 days to a new decade. What were your best moments of this decade? I had a kid. Bought a house and completely turned my life upside down and right side up again. Took myself to emergency services rather than driving my car into a tree like I wanted. Sounds depressing, but I'm super proud that I asked for help. A year later I joined a roller derby league. I'm fighting through it all. The day I asked my crush of last 8 years, with whom I had planned my whole life without even telling her. And she said no. Got a really good haircut. I only recently found out what loving someone feels like and what being loved feels like too. I grew up always wanting a dog. Can't say I've grown up, in a mature sense, but I got a dog. I told my best friend of 5 years I had feelings in March. We will be closing out this year and entering the new one together. Graduated high school, moved across country by myself, got married, moved 3 more times, watched my mom leave her verbally abusive and lazy husband and marry a much nicer man who has much more in common with her. It's been a great decade and I can't wait to see what the next one brings. Getting married. Adopting a dog. Buying a house. That time I got 2 onion rings in my French fries. Finally kicking my opiate addiction's ass. Surviving the end of the world, aka December 21st, 2012. I met the love of my life. Outrunning the clowns in 2016. Well damn. I remember 2010 starting as the year I finally was able to be social. Then in 2014 I left my home country, came here to Germany, and now have spent more than half of this decade here. And now at the turn of the next decade, I'm looking to go back. But the best moment? Gotta be getting out of hospital after trying to kill myself multiple times. I remember after a phone call with my mom that I'd do everything to get myself together and manage my mental health, and now I'm working, and have some great opportunities ahead of me. I'm far from over it, never will be, but I can manage my mental health enough that I can consistently function and not want to die. And that took a hell of a lot of work, but thanks to the people in my life who stood by me, I made it, and I really owe them a lot. Edit. My first Reddit award. Thank you, kind stranger. Laughing face. Damn, so many. 2011 I started dating my wife, graduated high school, toured Europe with a national honors choir, and started college. 2012 I spent an awesome month traveling in southern Africa. 2015 I got engaged. 2016 I graduated college and got married. 2017 I fulfilled a long-time dream of moving to Colorado. Living in Germany for 1 year, unforgettable moments. Man, I'm 24. Like, all important stuff of my life happened in this decade. First girlfriend, college, graduated college, first job. Too many to choose from really. Graduated high school, got out of that toxic relationship before marrying that psycho, moved out of parents' home, beat suicidal depression, graduated college with an engineering degree, met a girl and got engaged, got married, got the wife pregnant, kid won't be here till 2020, rented first apartment, bought first house, got first career job. Been a doozy of a decade. I bought a house, got married, sold that house, moved into a new house and had a son. It has been a crazy decade for me and my family, but it has been amazing. The first time I paid off all my outgoing expenses for the month by writing fiction. It's what I wanted to do ever since I was a kid, and let me tell you, boys and girls, there's not a feeling in the world like it. It's been my full-time job for about 6 years now, and I'm grateful every day. Playing Minecraft in 2018 and building a peaceful house and taming a wolf and a shulker. Got out of a long relationship, found myself, started going back to school. And just today my barista asked me out, bro. I am so hyped because I totally was crushing on her. Oh, also, I am cancer free. But this girl is probably the highlight. I finally went to therapy and got all the dark shit sorted so I can go into the new year with a new me, smiley face. Meeting my wife. My previous relationship finally ended in the beginning of 10 and I met my now wife in December of that year. I still enjoy her company every single day, and she was easily the best thing to happen in the 10s. Lost my virginity and self-respect, gained 40 kilograms and a drinking problem. This was my third decade and I hate it so much. Met my BF of almost 2 years and got with him. Made it even though Papa died. Got myself into an early graduation program. Got a job. Overcame severe depression, it's only mild now. Drove a car. Met new, nice people at my new, nice school. Got a kitten cat named Foxy 3 years ago. Didn't die. Coming without touching myself. Got over a guy I thought I never will. Reaching the end of my 6-month chemo treatment last December. I had expected to feel beaten down and done by the end, instead I felt better than I had in years. Still haven't felt as good as I did in that all too brief period, but now I guess life has a bit more purpose. I don't feel as directionless as I did before. I jerked off 3 times in 1 hour. Got to watch the Cubs win the World Series with my grandma, who went 86 years without seeing one. 100% to quit smoking and starting rock climbing. I won't have done one without the other. Asking my boss's boss out on a date. She turned out to have a BF, but I'm still proud that I had the balls to do it. Damn, time flew. It feels like yesterday that we entered the decade. Well, that's a chunk of my life gone, sad face. Lost my V card. Got married. Smiley face, gonna be hard to top that for me. Oh man. It was so great. I moved out and also completed college. I could go on and on, but nobody ever reads beyond 2 paragraphs anyway. Bret Hart returning to WWE in January 2010. Toy Story 3, The Claw. The discovery of Richard II's skeleton. Agent Dale Cooper, I am the FBI. The end of Rogue One. That time I was walking on a roof as a toddler. It was a 2-story house and apparently I told everyone the man helped me up there. Discovering Reddit. I met the love of my life, my mom got married, I finally have a father figure, lost my virginity, got my first job, I have stable mental health again. I'm getting back into shape again. I met the actual Santa, like literally in the middle of the night on Christmas. I woke up needing to go to the bathroom and he was putting presents under the tree. He didn't see me though, stalker 101, LOL. 2020 is about to be a good new decade of a year. Best wishes. Leaving my ex and finding my wonderful wife. Met my future wife 2012. Birth of my daughter 2017. Bought a home 2019. Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself 2019. I graduated. That's probably the thing I've been most proud of. I wasn't a great student at school, had to cope with bullying and then on top of that try to master academia. Eventually, I found the thing that I genuinely enjoyed, filmmaking, and went to a college, 2 years before university, so like the senior years of high school I guess, where I got to study it and I finished with the highest grades that they had awarded. BTEC gets a lot of bad press because it's maybe not as intellectually challenging as A levels, but I worked my arse off every day and left with great grades and went to a good university. I didn't get a great degree classification, but I got it and no one is taking that away from me. At university, some of my favorite and most vivid memories I have are of meeting my best friends for the first time. I lost contact with a lot of them. We don't talk as often as we'd like because we're both just trying to cope with growing up, but the people I am still close to are people that I can't imagine my life without. I love them to pieces. I'm fucking ready for this decade to be over already. Just fucking end it early, please. I beat depression's ass, found love, and rode behind a steam engine for the first time. Well, I went from 8 to 18, so quite a big change. Getting my bachelor's. Starting my chosen career. Moving out on my own. Paying off my student loans. Celebrating my 30th in Hawaii with 2 of my oldest friends. Being a part of my nephew and niece's lives. Generally experiencing the growth in art and technology. It's been an overall great decade. Just hope the next decade will be just as good. Finding a job that I don't dread going to in the morning, even happy to go to work some mornings. Getting out of my shell a little more, being a bit more confident and meeting people. Met my first girlfriend at 26. And I lucked out that she is pretty, kind, intelligent, funny, witty, and likes making me happy. Isn't the new decade in 2021? Holy cow, I remember that day when Epstein didn't kill himself. I'm sure this will be buried, but I escaped the cult I grew up in. That was also responsible for some of the worst moments of this decade, since my immediate family cut contact me because they're still in the cult. But the day I left was the first time I ever felt truly free and happy. Sometimes I'm still in disbelief and occasionally a little overwhelmed by how free I am, even though it's been 7 years. I gave myself the chance to actually live my life and I wouldn't give it up for anything. Married my best friend, had a kid, bought a house, got 2 college degrees, went from retail jobs to a software engineering career. The 2010s were a good decade for me, smiley face, saying fuck it and quitting my entry-level job I got right out of college. Moved to South America, taught English, then a few years in Southeast Asia. My life would never be the same. Oh God, we're old now. This decade has been literally half of my life. I've developed from an uneducated shy child with limited abilities to a ferociously confident adult who embraces the unique and seems to fly by academically. Turns out secondary school's environment isn't very nurturing to the individual. Met President Obama. We shook hands and he said my name. Maybe meeting new persons like my best friend. probably overcoming my fear of wild animals. I used to jump at the sound of a coyote, now I photograph wild rattlesnakes in their natural habitats. Completed the NYC, Chicago, and Berlin Marathon. Accepted into Boston University for my MSc, Database Development concentration. Bought a house and adopted a German Shepherd. Came out. Kissed a girl, and I liked it. Graduated college, found out I hate working full-time, moved back to my parents, moved to Wrigleyville and watched the Cubs win. Got over a long crush, met a wonderful woman I am asking to marry me on Black Friday, and finally found a job I love. Avengers through Avengers Endgame. Moved across the country, found a massive new friend group and kept in touch with my old one, got a great job, started a meetup group that's about to pass 5K members, and married my best friend. It's been a pretty fantastic last few years. Gonna start the next decade off by buying a house and starting a small business. Smiley face. Got married and had 2 kids. I won't lie, it's been hard fucking work and I've hated more days than I'd like to admit, but I would not change a thing. I love my husband and we've got 2 awesome kids. Running. In 2010 I had just entered my 30s and my metabolism was slowing down. I was starting to get fat. So I took up running. Since I have ran over 6,000 miles. This year I took it to the next level, ran my first marathon, and then 3 ultramarathons, finishing with a 50-miler just last weekend. I'm now 41 and in the best shape of my life. Never having to see posts like this for another 10 years. First NNN I have ever failed. Graduating the fringe hell that was high school, just to be put in the next fringe hell known as college.